My character's name is Michael Schofield, and he's a structural engineer, and he is clever and ruthless, a little bit smarter than the average Joe, but I think it's important to remember that he's not a superhero. He doesn't have martial arts skills, and when he goes behind bars to save his brother, he's very much in jeopardy 24/7. I play a man whose older brother is in prison on death row, perhaps framed for a crime that he may or may not have committed. I believe that he's innocent, and I hold up a bank in order to get thrown into the same prison where he's being held so I can help him, both of us, escape. The arc of my character's journey is I've got this brilliant, detailed plan that I've worked out in advance. I've done all this research, but on the other hand, you've got chance, fate, accident, reality, and human nature. And every week my plan will smack into that like a car into a brick wall, and he's going to have to, improvise and take into account things that he hadn't anticipated. And that will be his challenge week to week. I've got the most meticulous plan you can imagine. It covers everything from certain individuals' backgrounds in the prison itself, the warden of the prison, the mob boss inside, the guy who is running the black market within the prison itself. And I've also done extensive research as far as, of course, the layout of the prison, what screws they use, what bolts they use. It's about as good a plan as one could have, but there's no telling what the future holds. And when you take a character who is very much about his intellect and throw him into what is essentially the lion's den, it becomes increasingly complicated and dangerous. I like to think of this story as one man waking up one morning in the lion's den at the zoo, and in order to escape, you've got to figure a way out and keep your eye on the lion at the same time. So basically I get beaten, threatened, terrorized, thrown off a balcony, maimed, beaten with a D-cell battery stuffed into a sock. None of that was in the plan. Well, Lincoln is the older brother, and Michael's, the baby. And Lincoln has led a very difficult life. He's been in and out of trouble and has done his best, meanwhile, to make sure that my character, Michael, stays on the straight and narrow, and has made all kinds of sacrifices to make sure that Michael has had an easier time than he has. And that's why my character feels indebted to my older brother, because he's made so many sacrifices. So when he finally gets sent to prison and put on death row, it's now up to me to leave behind the fairly cushy, privileged existence that he's given me in order to save him. It's a great ride that I can take and then leave at the end of the day. And I think that's the hook for the audience as well, and that Michael is someone that everyone can relate to, but you'd never want to be in his shoes, and yet you'll want to see how it works out for him. He's someone that you can live vicariously through. The show is about a prison break, on the surface, of course, but I think it's really a show about family. It's about how far one man is willing to go to save a loved one, and I think we've got a lot of different elements here. We've got government conspiracy, we've got mob ties, we've got a little bit of romance, not just the prison kind, but ... And I think we've got a little bit of something for everyone.